If you see, AI and automation will set to revolutionize the oil and gas industry by enhancing the safety, effectiveness, and decision making, while at the same time it will reduce the cost. What I feel is like AI will have a major impact in two areas.
Listening to your journey, it's clear you have been right in the thick of high stakes operations, especially with those massive pipeline projects where even the smallest slip can cost big. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to FaceTime with Leaders by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm your host, Sunny Pancholi, and today we are in conversation with someone who has been at the core of India's oil and gas infrastructure for over 16 years, Mr. Ganesan T, Chief Engineer Mechanical at ONGC.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for inviting me for this conversation today.
Mr. Ganesan has led critical cross-country pipeline projects, driven large-scale equipment installations, and ensured operational uptime in one of the most demanding sectors, oil and gas. From well services equipment to site leadership and procurement, he has seen the ground-level complexities as well as the strategic impact. And what makes this conversation interesting is not just the scale of work, but the systems thinking behind it. So let's start simple, Mr. Ganesan. Take us through your career, how it all unfolded, and what the journey's been like from your own lens.
Yes. Surrounded by mechanical engineering students in my locality during my school days, that has motivated me to pursue engineering, that too mechanical engineering. Later, I've joined PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore. During my college days, that 5 years of industrial training exposure gave me to learn the very basics of mechanical engineering concepts. Later on, I have campus placed at ABB. This is a place where I have learned the very basics of project management and finance. Later on, I have shifted to ONGC. I was very fortunate to be posted in pipelines and project section. There I've been working there for last 13 years. This is a place, I will say, where I was involved deeply in various critical pipeline and surface installation projects that has helped me to learn very major things that ranges from project planning, cost estimation, execution, commissioning, and mainly closure of contracts. Later on, I have been transferred to Jorat Asset, Assam, where I have been posted in well services. Here, my focus has been shifted towards well services equipments, mainly mobile units like pumper units and coil tubing units. This area focuses on mainly maintenance and procurement of WSS units. So here, what I've learned is it has helped me to create various ideas on life cycle management of equipment and also the maintenance part of it. So this blend of project execution as well as maintenance part allows me to contribute to day-to-day performance of my works as well as long-term reliability and cost control for my organization. Yeah.
That's a solid journey, Mr. Ganesan. You have clearly stayed close to the ground while navigating some big picture shifts, and that kind of experience really sets the tone for this conversation. So, continuing our conversation, Mr. Ganesan, listening to your journey, it's clear you have been right in the thick of high stakes operations, especially with those massive pipeline projects where even the smallest slip can cost big. So, how have you managed to keep things safe and compliant while still pushing to meet tough deadlines?
That's an important area to focus on, that too in high risk environment like oil and gas industry. So I will say I have been very fortunate to have my mentor during my initial phase of my career in ONGC, who have taught me about the importance of safety. I should say I've been molded to be conscious and aware of my surroundings when I visit the site. So this is how like I have learned about the safety aspect. And see, like safety and compliance are not negotiable. So even when we work under pressure, under tight guidelines, we ensure safety is the most priority for execution of any works. So I follow three simple approach, which has been taught by my mentors during my initial career stage. The first one is being planning with inbuilt safety. So before you land on the ground for any execution of the work, you should have clear picture on your mind what all the risk assessments you have done, like SIMOPS, JSA, and whether you have all the permit systems in place. When you have all these systems in place, you are definitely, you will feel that like everything is taken care of, mostly safety. And second thing is field level discipline. In field level discipline, I make sure that my team, whether it's ONGC team or my vendor team, during the daily toolbox meeting, I ensure that they know what is the work they are going to do on that same day. And then they know about the standard operating procedure that we call it as SOPs. And then what are all the hazards that can happen, whether they are aware of the hazards in the work. So once they ensure that they follow the SOP, then rest is taken care of. When you follow the SOP, the safety follows. So the third step, what I follow is I regularly monitor them. So during the day, after the morning meetings, regular morning meetings, I call them every 1 hour to know the status and the safety complaints. And in case if they feel any issue, they will be free to call me and intimate me that these are all the problems they are facing. So this helps me to reassess the condition, pass the work. I will ask them to pass the work and we will reassess the condition based on the condition of the site. Then we will take a call whether to continue the work or to do some other modification or to take further precaution, that is safety precaution, so that we can continue the work. So in simple, I follow these three procedures: plan with inbuilt safety, follow SOP, monitor regularly. So, and should never compromise on safety core values, because that is a prime mover for any oil and gas industry. So this balance approach has helped me in delivering the projects on time with ensuring safety at the first place.
That gives real perspective, Mr. Ganesan. You know, it's one thing to talk safety in theory, but the way you have handled it on the ground with real pressure and timelines, that's where it really counts.
Yes.
So with that kind of real world insight, Mr. Ganesan, that really sets the tone. Now, building on to that, with the way tech is moving fast, I would love to hear your take. How do you see AI and automation changing the way pipeline maintenance or well services are handled in the next decade?
If you see, AI and automation will set to revolutionize the oil and gas industry by enhancing the safety, effectiveness, and decision making, while at the same time, it will reduce the cost. What I feel is like AI will have a major impact in two areas. The first being predictive maintenance with AI analytics. AI-powered systems that will analyze the real data that has been taken from IoT sensors that are embedded in pipelines to forecast the upcoming failures even before they occur. For example, when we are doing inline inspection of a major pipeline, the data which we receive it through inline inspection is given to the AI models, which will study the anomalies in the pipeline, and it will give the results of the corrosion rate, which will be helpful in replacement of pipelines even before the leakage occurs. So if the leakage has occurred, then it will create a huge environmental hazard. But using this AI and inline inspection, we anticipate where the leakage will be, and we ensure that we replace the that portion of the pipe even before the hazard takes place. Also, AI can be helpful in forecasting the equipment downtime. For example, in any major equipment and whether it belongs to well services or drilling rigs, the AI will helpful in forecasting the equipment's maintenance schedule and any equipment maintenance that will result in huge downtime. For example, see, oil and gas industry is a very asset heavy industry. So any equipment downtime will run in crores in case of major offshore operations. So AI will be helpful in that case. So even if you see like many major global players have started implementing AI in their industry, mostly in oil and gas industry. The second area of interest in AI is autonomous inspection. AI-powered drones and robots can help in inspection of pipelines at remote areas and in hazardous areas like inside tank farms, where it can be able to navigate and give the accurate picture of micro-level cracks or leaks that is happening, and that too with precision. This is helpful in reducing your human exposure, where it is very danger, and at other level, it gives more accuracy and precision. So these are all the two areas where AI will be helpful in oil and gas industry. And like this will enable oil and gas industry to have a smarter, safer, and cost-effective way in future.
Absolutely, Mr. Ganesan, and that's such a grounded take. It's easy to get caught up in the buzz around AI, but hearing how it actually plays out in the field conditions, that's the clarity our audiences need. So with that perspective on tech, Mr. Ganesan, and since we are talking scale and impact, I have got to ask you, what's your take on the role Indian engineers play in global oil and gas infrastructure? Do you feel we are still under-leveraged or maybe just under-acknowledged?
Absolutely. See, we are not short on talent. I will say we are both under-leveraged and under-acknowledged. For example, many companies in Middle East and West, they have more Indian talents, but at execution level. I will tell you from my own perspective. See, like when we were about to implement new technologies as a pilot basis in our assets, I have spoken to multiple teams in these countries. And what I found is like the execution team is full of Asian people, predominantly our Indian engineers. So what I feel is like everyone is aware that Indian engineers are the backbone of global oil and gas operations, whether it is pipeline laying or refinery operations. But the real gap lies in the visibility and the strategic roles. What I mean is like we have now already excelled in execution, but now what is required is we have to lead the team in technology innovation and energy transition. With more global exposure and cross-domain collaboration, Indian engineers can and should play a major role in shaping up the global energy infrastructure rather than building it. That's what I feel.
Absolutely, and it's refreshing to hear an honest take, especially from someone who has seen it from both the trenches and the leadership lens. All right, so Mr. Ganesan, with everything you have built so far and the kind of depth you bring, I'm curious what's next on the horizon for you. Do you see yourself moving into more strategic or board level roles down the line?
Yes, that's something I have been reflecting on seriously for the past few years. With around 15 years of experience from project management side and maintenance and procurement side, I have built a strong, solid foundation on technical execution and team leadership. So now I see myself moving towards more strategic and governance-oriented roles. So I believe whatever exposure I've got, that will allow me to bring in world core practicality to decision-making skills, mainly in the area of risk management, ESG compliance, and operational efficiency. I aim to contribute more at the board level. For that, I have been upgrading my knowledge on corporate governance, financial oversight, and capital planning. I just want to bring more than what engineering exposure has done to the table. So yes, while I remained in operation, the next chapter for me is strategy and board level thinking. Yes.
That's exciting to hear, Mr. Ganesan. You have clearly laid the foundation, and stepping into a boardroom role feels like a natural next move. So since we are talking about forward-looking roles, Mr. Ganesan, I would love your take on this. ESG is no longer just a compliance checkbox. It's becoming a core part of how businesses operate. So from your view in the oil and gas sector, How important is ESG undertaking for leaders today, especially those stepping into larger decision-making roles?
Yes. In my view, ESG is not just a compliance requirement anymore. It's a need rather than a want, that too, especially in oil and gas industry. I feel the leaders who are planning to have a more strategy or board level roles, they have to have the grasp of environmental, social, and governance principles very clearly. See, for example, at present, oil and gas industry faces immense pressure from your carbon regulation to community impact and workplace safety. So whatever decision we take today will should not be only focusing on the technical feasibility and profitability of the organization. Rather, it should entirely depend upon your long-term environmental risk assessments, social responsibility, and ethical governance. So leaders, they should understand that ESG is not a separate area of focus, but the whole organizational operation has to revolve around the ESG nowadays. So in my view, ESG is not like mere a checkbox as of now. It's the basic thing where the company or the organization revolves around. Yeah.
That's such a grounded take, Mr. Ganesan. ESG can sound like a buzzword, but hearing how it ties directly to field level decisions gives it real context. So before we wrap up, Mr. Ganesan, I would love to hear a quick reflection. How has your experience been so far with Directors Institute? What stood out to you when you joined, and how has it supported your growth at this stage in your career?
Yes. I've just recently begun my journey with Directors Institute, but within the shortest span of time, my shift or my perspective has been changed a lot on ESG and leadership. What I like the most when I joined the Directors Institute is the clarity of the content, what they have given, and the concepts of teaching, like the concepts of ethical governance or leadership, and how it is being translated into your boardroom thinking. So that has given me an opportunity to learn the things. Also, coming from a strong technical background, I wanted to have a structured way for learning the course, and which Director Institute has given me. The extra advantage or extra learning through expert advice talk that has given me various insights and experiences of industry experts, which is helping me to hone my skills to take boardroom responsibilities. And I really thank the Directors Institute for that.
Great to hear that, Mr. Ganesan. It's always meaningful when the learning journey aligns with where you are professionally. It really adds that extra edge. So that brings us to the end of this conversation on FaceTime with Leaders by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. Mr. Ganesan, thank you for taking us through your journey from ground level execution to big picture thinking. Your insights around engineering leadership, safety, future tech, and governance have been both practical and thought-provoking. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to share my views. Thanks once again.
And to our audience, we hope this episode gave you a deeper look into the kind of leadership that shapes critical industries and why continuous learning and strategic foresight matter more than ever. Until next time, stay curious, stay driven. Thank you so much.